Today, right now, for this video, it is not a walkthrough. It's not like an Overwatch video. It's not about like reactions to certain news or certain gameplays. It is nothing like that today. Um Today I'm gonna actually be doing something here where I think I possibly have talked about it on my channel. Where I've talked about it, that it's very important of a topic to speak about, to possibly find um you know I would say like some help for it, and that's especially things like suicide. I find it very important to be able to talk about things like this because certain things like this ain't talked about in certain areas. I feel as if it's a topic that a lot of people go through and a lot of people seek help for, or sometimes in certain areas it ends up ending out in the wrong way or very badly. So that's why I'm bringing out this topic. Now, before I even go into this topic and start talking about it, I want to state that, I don't speak well when it comes to like being on video or even trying to talk about a specific topic. I don't really have proper ways of speech. Like I don't like, if I can say like as like right now it's going on. I try to speak as good as possible. So or try to speak as proper as possible. Sometimes it doesn't work out too well. Sometimes I end up saying like, something different, and sometimes it gets misconstrued. So with that, I apologize for that in advance. But I do want to go ahead and have this video shared. Reason being is because I really want to get awareness for this. This is a very important topic, to a point where I've had friends and I have also ex- experienced, friends who actually go with thoughts of this, you know they deal with things like this. Even so do I. And with that, I've also had friends who had passed away from suicide as well. And it's very, very important of a topic because even now, like things like celebrities, even people that we look up to in a major aspect go through this also. So if you're watching this, I would like like some type of awareness to be spread out. I would like to like get this idea to be spread out where we could find some awareness or find some I would say like solutions to find some type of help for people who are dealing with things such as suicide. And I mean like in regards to those who deal with things such as suicide thoughts, attempts, or has to deal with things such as losing someone, in the cause of suicide. And it's very, very important to get this out because a lot of people don't realize it, especially with some people. Some people tend to hide it with like, with a mask or like or like some type of way to like a pretending of that they're happy. Like sometimes you can see the happiest of persons, or like the most jolliest of people, but they can end up being ones of those people who need help. And with that, knowing people who had you know done things like committed suicide, it's very, very difficult for me to talk about because sometimes it goes to a situation that where even if you have been a close friend or a friend or just a acquaintance to the person, sometimes you wonder, hey, maybe I could have done more. Maybe I could have done this or done that, and it could have prevent that. Sometimes, it's some people are not that lucky to have, that situation happen. Um, with when it comes to suicide, there are many things that could cause it, and many things that could like make a person go through that, whether it's like dealing with certain situations where things can get extremely stressful, where even bullying can lead to that. And it's a major aspect that people need to understand that, sorry, that you know like things like that are not like worth it. to cause such a situation. Like, life is like so precious, and the people that, you know, who don't realize that they're precious, they are precious to someone, or they should know that they're precious, or they should feel precious to themselves. Um, as like in certain instances, in certain areas, sometimes, mostly when with people who have committed suicide, have thought, like, that the world would be better without them. Even suicide can affect, you know those who really love you, and those who really care for you. And when people say that, like, when they if they commit suicide, and that the world's gonna be better without them, that's absolutely not true. Certain situations like with that have happened, and ends up making those who really do care about you miserable as well. It does affect them extremely. And with things like that, it goes to a major point where we try to figure out, why why are people doing this? Why is this happening? Why is this something that's, something that people would want to do? As I said, it's just a tough situation that sometimes we need to speak to someone. Sometimes we need to go ahead and confide in someone. Sometimes we need to go ahead and go out to get help. And whether you're the toughest guy in the world, whether you think you're the weakest, or whether like, you're too prideful or anything, there is nothing wrong, or nothing bad, or it's not a sin to go look for help. Trying to look for help is very important, and everybody in this world sometimes needs help. And with this situation, I know a lot of people deal with suicidal thoughts, even stuff like that, to a major extent. So this video is to go ahead and tell people that if you are looking, or if you're looking for help, or if anything, speak to someone. Definitely go ahead and find either professional help, or if you need to talk to a friend or a family member that is like, someone you like to confide in. Don't be afraid to. Those who, admit, in my opinion, that there's something wrong, or like they feel a certain way, are those who are actually really, really strong, and that actually, they know that something wrong is going on, and that in that process they're trying to look for help. So with that, I would like to go ahead and extend an idea that, if this is something that is going on in your life, if this is something that is been bothering you, or even if you hear someone that is dealing with situations like that, sometimes you gotta talk to them. Sometimes you gotta let them know. Like, for instance, if you're someone who is dealing with that, by all means, go ahead, look for someone to talk to. Speak to someone who is a professional. Even like, especially for suicide, there is a hotline, which I'm gonna put the number in the thumbnail and in this video. But there's a lot of people that actually really care about you, and that is willing to help you. And it's very, very important that you go ahead and try to find this help, because it's not just affecting to you, but it's affecting to other people, because you are really cared for, and people do care for you. For those who are listening, for those who see that there's an issue going on, stand by somebody, ask them, are you okay? Let them know that they're cared for, that you do care for them. Especially, like, nowadays a lot of people have not, or probably, don't have that type of support system. A lot of people don't have that type of person to really care for them. With that, you, like, it shows that you're listening, and also shows that you really do care about them if you listen to them. People really get to a point where, sometimes they just don't have time to listen. But I know there's some people out there, who are willing to listen, and willing to change things, and willing to fix things. So for those who are the listeners, by all means, just listen and just talk with them, and tell them how much you care about them and how much they mean to you. And also try to tell them how much they should love themselves, and how much like their lives affect others in a good way. And it's really, really important to go ahead and spout that message to prevent suicide or even a suicidal attempt. Even a suicidal attempt is even thoughts of it is a big issue. So with that, I'm posting this on different groups, and I'm posting this on Twitter. I'm posting this on on Discords, and I would like this whole entire video to be shared because I want people to go ahead and find the awareness that is possible for them to find the actual help that they're looking for or that they need. So with that, I'm going to put the actual suicide prevention hotline number on the thumbnail, as I said in the video. And I really hope that this message gets through to people, and I want to let people know that it is not a sin, it is not a bad thing to ask for help. And if you know someone who's dealing with that situation, please by all means extend your hand and lend them your ear, because it's very, very important to them that they have that person. Connections start with that situation also, and it also helps build relationships, and it's very, very important where relationships is also another cure or another sense of awareness from this situation. So, and I said, like, this is what this video is about. I really hope that, especially with how I talk, I'm not really good at speaking, that I got a message through. But I would like for people to share this, and it's very, very important that we get this message out. All right. Thank you very much.